not even going to wait for the fade. I'm not going to even wait for the fade out. I'm going to wait for the music to end. Welcome to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. Sorry if we were running a minute late. The cameras wanted to put up a fight. We'll be modernizing some of the equipment here in the near future. Smaller, higher definition cameras, if that's possible. Along with, they're right here. These are clip-on wireless lavs, okay, that I'm going to set up, and we're probably going to have them on the next show, because I spoil him, I spoil you, I spoil everybody. You know, I drive a 6-year-old truck, but it's okay. So the world of sports is completely on fire now that we're out of the dregs of July. Okay, I've ever told you I really don't like the month of July. I just don't. And I don't like August either. July and August, everybody has their favorite time of the year. People are like, oh, October, November, it's my favorite time of the year. Yeah, I like it too. July and August, got no use for them. If I cut those 2 months out of my life, though completely, that 61 days of the year, if I could cut that out of my life, or, I don't know, go into suspended animation and sleep through it, I'd be a happier person. I would. My life would be better. Yes, the bad things that happened to me will probably go on if I'm not even there. They'll happen to somebody else. But cannot use July and August. Absolute worst sports times of the year. And living here in Southeast Florida, it's a sauna. It's a sauna with a heat lamp.
It's like living on the sun.
You walk outside. You open up the door. You're like, oh, good morning. Birds are singing, and death. This is Matthew Masaracchio.
What's going on?
I just wanted to quickly cut and get myself out of that rant.
Yeah.
I have a lot built up, and I'm probably going to let you have it a couple of times. But this guy is here to pull it all together for us, because he's got just the sanest news there is. He's going to make everything normal.
It's crazy.
So what do you got?
I just turned on the computer and saw a story about a girl, 20 years old, in some godforsaken country, died on a bus because she had 26 iPhones glued to her body.
Now, her body.
Now, take that
in
for what it is.
various places on her body.
I have no other information on the story other than the fact that apparently witnesses describe her as
a nut.
Getting sick while on the bus, and then having some difficulty breathing, and eventually going into cardiac arrest and dying.
Holy
Autopsy
crap.
to come. Okay, let's just quickly analyze what's going on here. You brought up a good point. We were kind of figuring out, well, what's the reason that she died? Now, we're not doctors, and we don't have a lot of information to go by.
Speak for yourself. I'm a doctor.
But let's all hope it's not because of the cell phones. Okay, now, 26 phones is a little bit much.
How much aluminum foil was she wearing on her head?
But here's what I'm going to say. Would 23 phones kept her alive?
Is there a number?
All right, because I'm curious.
What's the number?
Why
are you curious about this number?
Because smart guys like me could do math, and what I'm trying to make sense of.
If it's 21, you know that now I can glue 21 phones to my body safely.
My point is that and again, hopefully somebody will figure this out. Hopefully this is not what they're going to have to figure out, but let's assume each phone puts out 3 bad things. And then you multiply it by 26, that's 72 bad things.
Let's call it radiation.
Okay, well, I don't even know what it's called, but it's bad things. So you got 72 bad things can kill you. That's a problem, because how long would it take you to accumulate those 72 bad things? We're on our phones all the time, and they're right here, and they're in our pockets, and they're on our bodies, and they're everywhere that they're probably not supposed to be.
In one case, 23 times they're on our bodies.
Yeah, so please find out what happened here so that we can safeguard ourselves, our children, our family members, the people we love, because if the phones are the problem, we're surrounded by phones. Everybody has a phone. And if the phones are killing us, then we have a problem. So let's find out what happened to this poor girl. I'm really hoping she had some other medical issues non-related to phones and her body. But we need to find out. Please follow this story and let us know. All right, back to you for the weather.
What's her ADP, though? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, back to you for the weather.
What is her average draft position?
Right now, she is...
And is she a quarterback, or is she like a... Is she like like a slash player?
Well, here's the thing. She's going to start the season on the pup list, to physically unable to perform because the bitch is dead. So, all right. So, next in news. Okay.
Dead.
Side story. Again,
Yeah.
more stuff. This happened to me personally this morning.
Because we're going to bore the shit out of everybody with all the news, and we're going to give it. So go ahead.
This is a good story. Real quick, and I'll try and keep it to a minimum. I had a conversation, discussion, battle, disagreement with ChatGPT this morning. Now,
what did I tell you? It's not a real person.
Well, here's what I'm gonna push back slightly.
You're gonna push back slightly.
I asked a simple question about baseball. Okay, top pitchers in baseball this year that have a sub-3 ERA. It spit out some answers, lots of statistics, lots of cited sources, all kinds of stuff. Well, I look in the list, and there's a guy on there that's not on the list, and I'm like, wait a second, ChatGPT missed somebody. So I write back, hey, by the way, you missed somebody, Jacob deGrom. They write back, in short, oh boy, we messed up. Here are the reasons, and all kinds of stuff. And thank you for being so smart, and whatever. So then I'm like, wait a second, me so smart? You're the GPT AI guy, person, entity, whatever, system that's supposed to get me the right answers that I'm depending on. But yet I had one in my pocket, just from simple research I did this morning. It's not making sense. Go a step further. I say, well, hey, Mr. ChatGPT, how can I trust you in the future? ChatGPT responds. This is all paraphrasing. It says,
fuck you, motherfucker.
Pretty much, as I spit everywhere.
Well, you know who the fuck I am?
It basically says...
Your lights flicker? Did your lights flicker? That's what I want to know.
It basically said that I messed up. This is ChatGPT. I messed up. I'm sorry, and don't be so condescending.
Bitch!
Because I called you out. So I quickly read back into one of the responses, and I basically am arguing with somebody, and I say, hold on a second. I'm not calling you out. If I don't prove you wrong, how do I prove me right? And it writes back to me and apologizes. I'm having a conversation with who? I want to know right now.
Oh, God, there's so much there's so much going on in my head. First of all, congratulations. You have done something that I'm sure millions of people would love to be able to go, hey!
I screenshotted it. I have proof.
That ain't, no, you're wrong.
One more thing, and then I'll let you go.
And I mean, people have always wanted to tell Google, you sure you know that?
It recommended professional work for me. It started saying, with my talents and my abilities, I should get into analytics, observation, and all this other stuff, and you're this and you're that.
Well, what form of ChatGPT do you have?
ChatGPT, something.
Regular? You don't pay for it?
No.
You read the regular ChatGPT?
I put it in my search
Which
bar.
is a very powerful tool, by the way.
Apparently,
we're talking about
90% correct, but whatever.
Okay,
and bitter.
That's also related to another mainstream news story that Gen Z and millennials are becoming addicted to chatbots. They're starting relationships with chatbots.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. I felt like I was having a conversation.
Yeah.
With something.
No, you're not wrong.
They apologize. Listen, here's what we did to each other in this conversation. And on the highest level.
All right, well, this is that kind of show. Go ahead.
We patronized. We were kind, both sides. We got pissed. We were like, I'm better than you. This is all in one conversation.
Dick.
I mean, it's like, are you kidding me right now?
Shave your head.
Okay, just... one more point to it, then you can go whatever direction you want to go to.
No, we're going to stay here.
The validity, how, again, 1 in a million shot, I'd like to think so, but maybe not. God. I find them, I quickly realized that there was something that they didn't have correct. And in calling it out, what did I accomplish? Do I trust them going forward? It told me I can. It said, oh yeah, this is and it told me the reasons why it missed it. It gave me other sources, and it said, well, the reason why I made the mistake was because I used this source, and I was too quick to determine on this and didn't consider recent performance, and it went off into a whole different direction of different sorts of possibilities. No, but ultimately, beautiful. I asked a question, and I got an incorrect answer. And that's where the confusion lies with me, and the little bit of uncomfortableness and a little bit of the unsureness, and just this whole thing. It just, I don't know, it really struck me in a kind of weird, uncomfortable way.
All right. So This is a fantastic moment, and this does apply to sports because a lot of people are using AI when it comes to sports, especially with wagering and fantasy sports. And you may even unwittingly be using AI, and you don't even know it. But you know, a friend of mine, and I actually consider him one of the producers of the Gonzo Radio Network, i.e., by extension, this show. Brad, hey Brad. Brad is also a bit of an expert in artificial intelligence. He's building platforms. He's building a platform for me. We may build two platforms, one for this network and one for real estate. But I can tell you, and we are using it in real estate, not that you know because you don't practice anymore. But AI, people need to remember this. Kids need to remember this. AI is a tool. It is a tool, nothing more. It is a wrench. It is a pair of pliers. It is a specialized tool. Okay? It is a tool that is connected to whatever it is, mostly the internet, if you will. I mean, AI.
It's speed is what you're looking for.
It's speed,
diversity, and speed,
and it's also processing of information. It's also processing of it. It's the ultimate crowdsourcing. I'll tell you that, because when you ask ChatGPT or any other search engine, essentially is what it is. You know, what about this? Or what? How do I do this? You know, help me build a side hustle for 20 hours a week. Mainly at night, and it'll go, there you go, here's the different fields, and and there's the structure of the business. It will give you all the information available to mankind, okay, but you have to know how to ask it. You have to know how to talk to it. I'm very proud of you, have learned detailed prompts, and you have obviously hit ChatGPT with a detailed prompt. It went, it just threw the answer at you and hoped you were going to buy it. And you went, oh, hell no, I know that ain't right. So, yeah, I can't emphasize enough, especially on Brad. Like I said, Brad gave the proper analogy for it, is that it's a tool. It's a tool. Okay.
I just thought it was so interesting.
We're just learning how to use it.
That it responded, it acknowledged the mistake, and then based on the question I asked, because I did put, how can I trust? And I think that was maybe the word that spun the direction of the answer from ChatGPT in a way where it was like, oh, well, hold on, buddy. I'm ChatGPT. What do you mean you can't trust me?
What do you mean trust?
And then when I pulled it out again and I said, listen, this is the reason why I did. It basically said that I did something I didn't do. And when I responded in that way and said, well, wait a second, and I paraphrased exactly what the last response was, it then did a 180 again and said, well, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong. Let me recommend to you these new jobs. It's like, what?
Get a job and get the fuck out of my face. Leave me alone. Don't you have a job?
Where are we right now? It blows my mind. It blows my mind. And I screenshotted it, so I have proof of this conversation. I showed you for the show. It blows my mind. So anyway, yeah, I don't even know where to go from that. We got a woman down on a bus with phones.
I don't need to do cardio today. I'm good.
So basically, technology killed one poor girl, and ChatGPT technology, basically, we just had a breakup. We had a relationship, we broke up, and I think we fixed it.
What you know what's really funny? We've gone through this for about 8 minutes now, and we never. What was it that you hit ChatGPT with that made it give you a bad answer?
It was a baseball question.
Oh.
I asked essentially which pitchers to this point this year have a sub-3 ERA. And the only reason why I did that wasn't the question I really wanted to ask. I wanted to ask which pitchers had a FIP, which is fielding independent percentage. It's a little better metric for ERA.
Not a hissy fit.
No, it's called FIP. There's XFIP, there's FIP, whatever. So I started with just ERA. But I had already been looking at today's starting lineups and slate for DFS. And I was looking at Jacob deGrom and going, well, wow, he really is pitching well. Looked at his last few starts, went through his metrics, whatever. And I'm like, wow, his ERA is like 2.8 right now for the season. So I just randomly asked a question, not even trying to find Jacob deGrom. And when it spit out 9 pitchers on its list, and I'm like, oh, wow, he's there. Okay, yeah, I know he's pitching well. I'm like, well, where's Jacob deGrom?
That ain't right.
And I even specified in my question which pitchers had at least 100 innings because I wanted to set some sort of minimum inning requirement, which I did. He's at 105 innings to this point, so he fits the criteria, and they admitted that too. And again, it's just that's what I was looking for. And the direction from there blew me away. And that's hard to do. Okay, I'm next level critical guy thinking. And when I was on these different levels and getting with that and getting the answers, I was like I sat in my room with the TV off and the lights off, just going, I can't believe I'm actually in this discussion.
And listen, I'm not speaking from an area of expertise. I'm still a neophyte at myself. But when you do ask it a question, especially a detailed question like that, and the length of time that you see the whole
and you see it
thinking, that means you're going to be getting a lot of details. How long did it think?
Maybe 10 seconds.
Ooh, 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a long time.
It's eternity, yeah. But the amount of information I got in that 10 seconds was a few pages worth.
Oh, okay.
From 7 different sources.
Because
something you could never do.
It's the 7 optimized sources.
Yeah, of course, yes.
That ChatGPT, which has millions
right. So that
sources.
that whole process is 1,000 million times faster than what we can do just searching the sites and whatever. So, okay.
Which also says that those best sources have inconsistencies. Some of those best sources missed on what you were talking about.
And I think the reason.
So how can you trust those other sources? Don't blame the tool.
Well, remember this. Okay, now
don't blame the tool.
Very important you said that because that's what I was going to say. The ChatGPT is only a tool of gathering information.
Right.
But that's what threw me was the fact that it was able to not only get me information because again, just like a computer. The computer is only as good as the person in front of it.
Exactly.
Same thing with the ChatGPT. It's
Don't
gathering
blame the tool.
information.
A good craftsman never blames his tools.
But yet, ChatGPT is good enough to then see that we're having a conversation with emotions and with, again, picking out key phrases in a novel of information. And okay, so it's not just gathering information. There's also a human element to that level of conversation that you can have where it touches on where I hurt its feelings.
That's what it's designed to do.
I hurt its feelings.
Right. That's what it's designed to do. That's the reason. And now we come full circle. That's back to the mainstream story of kids. And I say kids. I say yes, kids. Everybody under the age of 25,
40.
Okay, or under 40, easy, Grandpa.
That's what I'd say.
Listen. Anyway, anybody under the age. Okay, let's say 30. All right, kids are falling in love with chatbots. So, and this isn't the weird 80s and 90s grown-ass men falling in love with Japanese love pillows. Okay, no, that's just a weirdo who likes to rub his junk on a pillow.
Japanese love pillow.
You never heard of that?
I've never heard of that.
Oh, we're not going to go there.
Wow.
I'm trying to push this to sports.
Google search.
No, I don't want to see it.
ChatGPT.
Play the Coldplay cam. Anyway.
Can you give me the best Japanese?
Yeah.
That is.
No,
yeah, we got
put
sports.
that phone down.
We got sports.
So how about those quarterbacks?
Hey, quarterbacks.
So hang on. Camp is upon us. Everybody's getting their camp on. Everybody's having a good time. Some players are
not
emerging.
Yeah.
Some players are not having a good time.
They want more money.
Oh my goodness.
They got some money grabbers out there.
We are caught in the middle of two messy divorces. One is a lot of smoke. The other one's fire. Okay, well, one is blowing smoke. That's Terry McLaurin, and then Micah Parsons. That's fire. I think Micah's had it. Micah came out and threw Jerry under the bus.
It took him 3-4 days of camp to look around and go, yeah, this defense is not very good.
I'm gonna bust my ass for nothing.
Yeah, this defense is bad.
I'm wasting another year of my career.
But you know what fantasy managers love? Bad defenses.
Sure.
because we love the offense. Well, we can.
Him well.
We will.
He's pivoting to the topic.
We
Go
will.
ahead.
We will.
No, you're going to pivot to the topic.
Fantasy-wise, again, you're always looking to put yourself in the best situation, which means you have to have these players and understand, where their value is, what sort of production they're going to be looking at this year, because without production, you can't get points. So it's opportunity, it's production, it's points. And in a situation we talk about this, when one of the main factors, check boxes type stuff that I use, is a team, is how good they are. Who is that team? We're talking about the Cowboys, let's get on them. the Cowboys over the last several years have not been a very good football team. Not a well-balanced football team. Now, they went and they got George Pickens. We know that whole story. Offensively, they gave Dak that big contract. We've got 3 or 4 players we talked about that are getting about half that team's salary. It's very tough to fill the other positions. Okay, we talk about money management. This is from the NFL side. Now, the business of football is as difficult as it's ever been because these players are demanding money that puts these teams in a spot where they've got to be perfect the rest of the way. Okay, so they got to draft smart. They got to keep quarterbacks, on rookie deals to be successful. Okay, that's the business side of it. But in a situation like this, where you're looking at teams and you're trying to figure out to put players in tiers, and we've talked about that, this is one of the things you have to decide. The Cowboys have a really, really bad defense right now. And if you look at one of their best players making the most noise, if he ends up getting dealt or gets traded or sits out, that offense is in a prime spot, okay? I think on paper they're a little better than last year. The addition of Pickens is a huge addition on offense. It's going to really help CeeDee Lamb on the other side. Also, they gave Ferguson $1 billion a few years ago. They extended him. They've got weapons on offense. Bad running game, okay, considerably in terms of the backfield compared to the rest of the league. So everything's lining up for that offense to throw the football and put up production. You're looking at guys like that. You're looking at scenarios like that. So I'm a guy that's high on Prescott. When we get to quarterbacks later on, and we'll talk about how to pick them, that's it. So you're looking for teams with bad defenses that potentially also may have good offenses. Another example, the Cincinnati Bengals. Tremendous offense.
And they're off.
Their pieces are going to be taken a lot higher than some of the Dallas pieces, but same situation. Got a bad defense. And one of their key players, again, are they going to re-sign him? I think they did sign him. They extended him. The defensive end, Hutchinson.
Hutchinson? No.
No, not yet still? He's still sitting out, I think.
Who? Detroit?
No, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. No, Hendrickson.
Hendrickson, sorry.
Close. Yeah, one of those Swedish names.
Yeah.
I know.
So bad defense, good offense. Guess what? Fantasy production opportunity. One of the stats that I pulled a few years ago that's consistent is targets. When receivers, I think it was 2 years ago, of the top 25 scoring receivers in fantasy football, I think 85 or 90% of them had north of 100 targets. That's enough of a story for me.
Yep.
Okay, I'm looking at guys that get 100 targets or more in plus situations. So you're looking for guys like that. It's these sorts of parameters that I like to set up so that when I'm going through the drafts and the draft boards and the mock drafts and all my different analysis, I can better place these players within these tiers.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, well, let's face it, the target statistic is attention. How many times do they intend to get him the ball? That's 100 times, 110 times, 120 times?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
No, it's a ton.
That's a lot. That's a big percentage of your offense.
That's the marker. Here's another tool that I would like to introduce in terms of opportunities, production, stuff like that. Start the quarterback position. Go through each team. Let's go with, let's say, Cincinnati. And try to extrapolate what you think the amount of attempts that quarterback's going to have this year. Okay.
Like 600.
Whatever it's going to be. You can use baselines from last year. You could look at offensive schemes this year. You can get a picture at least and be somewhat close as the attempts. Then go to the next step.
Keep talking. I got to get a glass of water.
Look at the weapons on that team. Look at the receivers. Look at the running backs. And then extrapolate from that point who's going to get those targets. Look at the receiving room. Are they going to get 60% of the targets? So the running back's going to get 25% of the targets. So the tight end's going to get the rest. And then work down the list to find out who's going to benefit the most, get the most opportunities in that system.
What do you want anything while I'm up?
I'm good, thank you.
I'll
keep talking targets.
This is a professional podcast, you know.
So opportunity equals production.
Yes, it does.
Because without it, you got no shot. Now, you do have anomalies. Okay, a couple years ago, Mostert had how many touchdowns based on how many touches? You know, those
like
sorts
a million. He had like 19.
So one of the traps that we tend to fall into, and I'll use another player to fit this example, is that we like to chase last year's production. And we like to assume that players, if they reach a certain marker or hit a certain number, that's going to be at least where they're going to be this year. And let's use Brock Bowers as an example. Again, fantasy perspective here. Massive year last year for a rookie. Okay, tight end. Forget about rookie tight ends not being, efficient in the offense and whatever. This dude had over 100 catches last year. Okay, number one tight end overall. Now you have to look at what the story was to why he got there. It was basically him and Jacoby Myers. Okay, they had two weapons. And they really, in terms of share percentage, were getting a lion's share of the offense. Granted, 100 catches. Okay, opportunity presents production. Now, look at this year. They drafted another wide receiver in the draft. They've got Myers coming back healthy. They want to focus more on the running game. You start listening to the coaches and the perspective. They changed the coaching scheme.
They went and got Geno Smith.
They got a quarterback that's one of the best play-action type quarterbacks in the league.
Tough and accurate.
Yeah.
Don't forget those. Tough and accurate.
Now, people are going to go, oh, wow, better quarterback means more production. Okay, maybe on the surface, you would think that makes sense. That's a fair assessment, but you have to look at the rest of the story. You have to look at scheme. You have to look at the coaching perspective. You have to look at the rest of the talent.
Looming large at 5'9", 215 pounds from the University of Boise or Boise State University.
Ashton Genty, yeah.
Yeah.
I would think he's going to be a 300 touch guy.
LaDainian Tomlinson 2.0. How about that? I said it. I said it.
So, I mean, again, will he get to the numbers he got to last year? It's very possible. The guy's unbelievable. But do know this, in terms of where he's being drafted, he's going as early as maybe the second or third round. So he's going to return that production. You're chasing that production. Just be careful. There are a few players that hopefully I'll be able to point out, or you'll be able to go through and think that they may fall into that category.
Well, can I dig a little deeper into that specific team, that specific category? The offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly. What offense was he running last year? The last couple of years, the last 3 years. What was the target share for the tight end there? Okay, now if the target share for the tight end for a full game, for a full 17 games or 16 games as it were, is in the neighborhood of 60, you're going to see he really doesn't like to throw to the tight end that much. But let's add another 30 as a mandate from the head coach. We need to throw it to this guy. And you give him another 10 or 15 because he is who he is. So he might make his 100.
That's a presence that's going to be different. So scoring touchdowns are going to be a lot more.
One of his most dangerous plays one of his most dangerous plays is the shotgun draw. Out of the shotgun, Boise State, they ran the draw with him a lot. Why? Because he's a guy with great vision. He can now running full speed into the line, he can identify the hole. With the shotgun draw, he now has the edges are out. Now it's 3-on-2, sometimes 4-on-3, and he can pick and choose where he wants to go. And that little dude is so fast, he is so quick. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. And Boise State ran that in the red zone, 5-yard line. Shotgun draw. Everybody spread out, 5 wide receivers. Bye. Walks into the end zone. You don't think maybe that Chip Kelly is going to see that from his college highlights? I think so. And that's right up Chip Kelly's alley from Oregon.
Yeah, he likes his running backs.
So, yeah, Ashton Genty, I'm real high on him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick him first overall in the fantasy draft. Maybe 5th. I get to 5, and he's there.
It's questionable. Yeah.
If it's between him and Saquon?
He's typically being a back-end guy.
Yeah.
But to me right now, if you give me the choice between him and Saquon,
you got to go Barkley.
No, I'm taking Genty.
Why? No, okay. Do what you're going to do. But I'm just saying,
Genty.
Ashton Genty.
Taking Genty. Worried about just back-end stuff. We've talked about it.
Right. So what year to year, you have to also examine what has changed in the offseason. Because if you just think that this guy is going to average 120 targets and 100 catches and 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns, and you see that for 6 years and running. 7 here, 9 there, whatever. Okay, but that mean average over 6 years. And it's the same offensive coordinator and quarterback. Same system. Something changes. Year 7. You have to roll with that change. What is that change going to be? What is the style? Does the style fit the player? Is the quarterback the same? The quarterback, they've got to rapport a relationship. So you may not get a lot of, you have to pay attention to all the factors, including that offensive coordinator, whatever style of offense they're going to run. If it changes, you have to take that change into account. So I'm expecting a little drop off for Brock Bowers. I really am.
I mean, and that drop off maybe 95 catches,
Yeah.
and it's still an amazing year.
Whoops.
But, and just, I mean,
you're all pro again, but
Yeah.
oh my God, you couldn't get 100
yeah.
catches.
I mean, but
really,
which is really good, by the way. So
Yeah.
it's not like we're picking on. It's not like I'm picking on Brock Bowers. I'm just
No.
giving you the example
Yeah.
of players that when we chase last year's production, often
and we're not going to tell you everybody because we want to be able to draft them ourselves.
Oftentimes, when we chase last year's production, we don't get those expectations.
Yeah.
And there's a story as to why. Now, oftentimes, too, there are players that will exceed expectations, like Brock Bowers did last year. Nobody expected him to catch 100 balls. But I would rather be a little bit further down the draft, at least this year, than having to chase that middle second round production for a tight end. Because if you miss on that position and that player for whatever reason, let's say he only gets 80% of his production last year, which there's a story to be told there, it's possible.
Still moves into the 5th round.
You're chasing a lot. And there are a lot of players that you could have taken, for instance, if you wait till, let's say, the 4th or 5th or 6th round, let's say the 6th round, and George Kittle is there. Now, best years for both players, Kittle is about 75% of Brock Bowers, but you have a much safer chance of getting those guys a little bit closer than that gap and exceeding the value and the difference in where you took them in the draft, because you would have taken Brock in the 2nd and you would have taken George in the 6th. And think about the 3 or 4 impact players you could have had in between that maybe 1 or 2 of those you would have missed on because you went for Brock Bowers up in the 2nd round.
The sexy name.
Yeah, so just, again, there's a lot of that goes into these drafts. Typically, I like to zig when people zag. I don't like to lock myself into, well, this year I have to get X player, or this year I'm going to start with 2 running backs, or this year I'm going to definitely wait on a quarterback. When you lock yourself into those parameters, you aren't able to find the values or the changes that come along. You don't know what pick 3 is going to be in the 4th round. So how are you picking your guy in the 6th at this point when he may be gone? Or maybe you can wait at that point to the 7th because the 3 teams ahead of you, directly ahead of you, their running back room is already filled. So you're looking at these things as well. There's a lot that goes into it. So that's why when we come back from break, if you'd like, we can get into the value of the tiers, make things a little less challenging.
All I know is returning back to one of the points that you started off this topic with was picking teams with really good offenses and really bad defenses. Okay, if you see me with lots of Bengals and Dolphins and Lions, oh my, prepare to lose, because all 3 of those teams, we know they're going to have prolific offenses. Score. Okay, but what about those defenses? Miami might have a little more of a chance of being a mid-tier to upper-tier defense by virtue of their front 7 talent, and their defense coordinator is very good. And Minkah Fitzpatrick, you can't underestimate his ability to coordinate a defense back there as an on-field quarterback. But the Bengals defense, without Hendrickson, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, really bad.
And a pissed off 1st round draft choice who's there and I got what I want, but I really don't want to be here. Because I'm sorry, Zoomers, I know you get pissed off and you hold a grudge for a long time. He's gonna be Shamar Reyes is gonna be so salty this year. They're gonna be like, just don't talk to the rookie. Why? He's just pissed off all the time. It makes him play good, but we're on a horrible defense and we're losing games. We're losing games 45-41. We're scoring 41 points and we're losing. So this kid's tired of chasing people all over the fucking field.
That story's going to get old on that defense.
Right? And the Lions are beat up. I mean, that Lion defense got decimated by injuries last year. And, you speak of the return of the kid, the defensive end. I can't remember his name right now. But you speak of very few returning players because a lot of guys have left via free agency. A lot of guys aren't going to be back because of injuries. So, who knows with the Lions defense? Plus a new defensive coordinator.
And offensive coordinator, a whole new system.
Well, I mean, there's been a couple of times more than a few times actually, in my fantasy football career, 34 years in running, that I have gone specifically after offenses with horrible defenses. Specifically, okay, case in point, the Diamond Dolls League. Russ and I, one year, we went after Drew Brees. We took Drew Brees in the first round, and we got laughed at. Ha ha ha! And we turned around and picked up Marshawn Lynch in the second round, and we got laughed at. Ha 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 ha! But we knew that that was the year of the Bounty Gate, and their defense, not only did they had their defensive coordinator got indefinitely suspended and fired. Two of their starters got suspended. Their owner got fined. I mean, it was a whole thing. So their defense was atrocious. But Drew Brees had Michael Thomas in his second year, Vernon Colston. He had a host. Still had Horn on the team. He was lighting it up. I mean, just pew 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 pew. Just Deuce McAllister. They were just lighting it up. I think they scored well over 500 points that year. All right, and it was the Drew Brees show. And guess what? Nobody could laugh about picking Drew Brees 9th overall or 7th overall or whatever it was that we picked him. And they're like, oh, you went for a quarterback early. I said, yeah, sure. And Russ and I discussed it. We were like, oh my God, they're going to end up throwing every game. They're going to end up having to throw for 400 yards every game. So you pick that up. And I picked up various Dolphin teams with Dan Marino that have had horrible defenses, especially in the 90s. And Marino, every year, 4,000 yards, 25 plus touchdowns, bing, 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 bing.
We're no longer allowed to mention the Saints in any fantasy discussion, by the way.
I don't know. Careful.
Garrett Hartley.
Careful. Yeah, there you go. That's your boy. Yeah, well, take it to the kicker. All right, well, let's take it to a break. How about that? Is that good for you?
Yeah, I like breaks.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you like it. So we'll take a quick one. We'll be back, and we'll be talking about what
tiers.
Oh, tiers. Tiers.
How to set your tiers.
This is an organized, professional
and more
podcast
tiers
here at the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. What Saudi Arabia? What we got breaking news?
They killed people.
Saudi Arabia kills people all the time
for drugs.
Oh well with some drugs.
Yeah, drug-related convictions. They executed 8 people in one day.
Oh
Only one of them was a murderer. The other 7 were drug convictions.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Listen, Saudi Arabia don't play. Saudi Arabia don't play. I'm sorry. They're a theocracy.
F Saudi Arabia.
And they're nuts.
Who cares?
And they got all the oil. All right, so we're back to sports.
Yes.
Focus, damn it.
I'm here.
So we were talking about tiers. Tiers meaning levels of players, groups of players that, arranged by their abilities, their
Projections.
So tell everybody about the tiers.
Well, we've talked about it before. The reason why I value the tiers because it takes a little more work on the front end of it because you want to develop parameters for your tiers that you think are going to be, the most accurate. Maybe remove the most amount of variables and stuff, the most noise to come up with.
Yes,
a fair prediction. So I think, the importance of tiers based on or verse ADP, average draft position.
Right.
Everybody knows what ADP is. It's the basic spot and where they think that player is going to return the value based on where he's being selected.
And if you don't, and you're watching this show,
take note.
You just learned.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, in most cases, doing mock drafts, those ADPs are going to vary. Okay, maybe in the first 6, 7 rounds, you can slot in most of those players being taken. Maybe a guy moves up a couple of spots in one round as opposed to another. It's a baseline. Okay, it's not a science by any stretch. It's certainly not the law. Now, the reason why I like to get away from that now is because, like I said before, everybody is chasing the same path. Sometimes it makes a little bit of sense to go off the path. Okay, be a little bit different than your person, than the one that's next to you. That's how you separate yourself in some of these situations. If everybody's chasing the same road and that road is a dead-end road, guess what? Everybody gets stuck. And where are you? You took the dirt road to get around where the impasse was, and now you're back on the road again, ahead of everybody else. Everybody's chasing you now. So find what works for how you draft in terms of for your home leagues. Now, the important thing, obviously, first thing in these home leagues is determine what the rules are. Find out what's important, what the scoring systems are. Most of us are in PPR leagues, point per reception. Some leagues are half-point PPR. There's a difference there. There's a big difference between running backs, for instance, let's say, that catch a lot of passes. A-Chain last year caught 60-plus balls. That's 60 points. Okay, in a half-point PPR league, guess what? His value is not as good. It's only 30 points. So you have to consider the point systems in your league as how to set up these tiers. That's number one. Number two, roster composition. How many positional players you need. Flex positions, kickers, defenses. However your roster composition sets up, very important. Because you want to be able to build a roster, have balance on that roster.
Can't have just one guy scoring every week.
Yeah, I mean, that's not how it works. But now, let me tell you what the problem with people who focus on roster composition is. And you see this in every draft. We've all seen this in every draft. You'll be in
player dependent.
You'll be in the 4th or 5th round, and you'll hear guys go, I need a running back. So what they'll do is they'll look at the board, and they'll look at the best next running back that's available, and they'll take them based on ADP, most cases. They're like, oh, he hasn't been taken yet. What a steal. Let me get this guy here. Okay. A lot of times they look past the point of what that player's value actually is. Maybe that player that you took in the 5th round running back is only going to get you 8th round running back production, but yet you took him because guess what? You needed a running back. When you had other players on the board, okay, in that same spot, in that same tier, that are going to return much greater, safer value to you. So get away from that, oh, I need a running back. Oh, I only have 2 wide receivers. I need a wide receiver. If you focus your draft from A to B all the way down to the bottom, and you have balance, and you have the approach and these tier systems set up, you're probably not going to be in a position where you're looking at round 12 and you only have 1 running back, okay? And you're stuck at that point. And if you're that guy, then guess what? You better pray to God that you can chase that waiver wire the rest of the year.
You got to hit on that waiver wire, period.
Find somebody you can trade with. So you don't want to necessarily, again, these sorts of parameters I'm setting up, they're not 100% parameters. There's going to be deviance within these parameters.
Sure.
But if you have enough of them lined up and your player in that spot checks enough of those boxes or fits within those parameters or is within that particular tier, okay, you've done your work. Okay, you've done as much as you can do based on the information available, and that's the player you take. And whether it works or not, the guy gets hurt, whatever. Things happen during the year. It's football. Okay, it's a lot of things, physical sport. Guys get hurt. A lot of variables come into play here. That's why half the players don't hit value. But more than likely, you'll be on the side where your guys are in the right spot. And you've built a balanced team.
I mean, listen, I've had drafts where I've drafted wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver. First three picks. 3 wide receivers. Everybody's like, oh my God, you don't have any running backs. But my next 3 picks were running backs. And they were pretty good running backs, 4th, 5th, 6th round. But they were pretty good running backs. And guess what? I hit on one on the waiver wire. And those three pretty good running backs played all year, produced consistently, 14, 15, always hit their projections. How about that? Okay. You want guys definitely that will hit their projections very, very consistently. Because if you have players that will hit their projections and stay healthy and produce all year long like that, guess what, Steady Eddie? Suddenly you're going to find yourself at playoff time with 10 wins. You're going to be 10-4 going into the playoffs. 11-3. Why? Because you won a bunch of games. A bunch of games. You won a bunch of games where the other guy had a quarterback that, Dak put up 56. And another guy, Genti, put up a 45-point game. Yeah, but you beat him, right? Yeah, why? Because you had no bagels. You had no 2.3 guys. Okay, you had no single-digit scores because everybody hit their projection or better or got really close to their projection. Because that little projected score that you see every year down at the bottom, that 130 that you get at the projection, you want to get as close to that as possible, especially if it shows in the comparison, because most sites show you a comparison, and if that 130 is better than the other guy's 117, you want to get as close to that every fucking week. The projections, a lot of people blow off the projections from the sites, whether it be ESPN or Fox or whatever. But guess what? Those analytics, they're pretty close.
They tell a story.
They're pretty close.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about, when we talk about positional guys, I looked at quarterbacks over the last few days. Certainly this morning I was on there.
There's a bunch.
Yeah, quarterbacks are popular. You talked about taking Drew in the first round a couple years back. That worked out for you. I know that's not the norm, but that worked for you in that situation. Typically, and we know the quarterbacks that are going to be taken early in this year's draft. It's Josh Allen. It's Lamar Jackson. It's
Joe Burrow.
It's Jaden Daniels. The story I'm telling of these quarterbacks, the mobile quarterbacks make a difference, okay? Because running yardage is huge.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. Believe it or not, they have Justin Fields here in this mock draft as the ninth quarterback taken off the board.
It's because of rushing.
It's because of rushing, exactly. He's a 50, 60 yards per. That's a touchdown per game in terms of scoring. That's huge.
A lot.
It's huge. So it's fantasy production, but
it's not Jalen Hurts.
Typically, Josh Allen is the second-round guy. Lamar Jackson's a third-round guy. These guys are taken within all a few picks of each other. Those quarterbacks are going to go. Unless you're prepared or have a system set up for your draft where you're going to be able to get one of those quarterbacks in those particular rounds, then you got to have a plan. And you got to have quarterbacks down the line that you feel comfortable with. I mentioned Dak Prescott. And the reason why I like Dak Prescott is because I've checked enough boxes. We talked about it. Bad defense, good offense.
He's got good teeth.
Yeah, bad running back.
Pretty smile.
Bad running back room means, guess what? Throwing the football. They already have one of the top receivers in football. He's being taken in the first three picks.
Hang on. Can we take a half a step back here? Bad running back room. Did Rico Dowdle leave?
No, he's still there.
Did Javonte Williams break something in camp?
Still there.
Well, I think that they have probably an average running back. I wouldn't say bad.
It's below average.
Okay, listen, Javonte was wasted in Denver.
Okay.
We've seen the flashes. Okay.
Where Denver produces running backs, where Denver can pretty much kick anybody off the scrap heap and put him in there and he can produce. He's never found his way. For a guy that's been on 3 teams, again, I'm just looking at on paper. Now, any of these guys could be in better spots now and have better seasons than they've ever had. But on paper, right now, nobody's afraid of the Dallas running back running room per se. Everybody's looking at Pickens. Now. Everybody's looking at CeeDee Lamb. Everybody's looking at Ferguson. Well, nobody's looking at was it Jared McLaughlin? Is that who went over to Dallas or to Denver now? Or
no,
to Dallas?
Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams. Okay, even more.
225 pounds.
Right. Okay. So my point is that that's a team, that's a quarterback that I would be looking forward to getting, because if you're getting him,
don't none of y'all look at Javonte Williams either. When I pick him in like the 10th or 11th round, and you guys are like, "Who does he play for Dallas?" And I'll be like, "Enjoy the touchdowns." Go ahead.
Dak's 7th, 8th quarterback taken. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Think about the distance in terms of rounds. You have 4 or 5 players, impact players, that you can be reaching for between when Lamar comes off the board, when Josh Allen comes off the board, when Jaden Daniels comes off the board. You got a lot of big names that are going to be in those spots, in those rounds that you can take. And I don't think you're going to have that much of a drop-off between the production of those other guys I mentioned and then a guy like Dak Prescott. I'm really high on Dak this year. I think Dak does come inside the top 10.
Listen, 4,500, 30-plus touchdowns. Yeah, that's easy for him this year. This year, I'm telling you. And, of course, every prediction of every player, it all depends on the age-old adage, if they stay healthy and play all 17 games. All right, so, or 16, and they have to have a week off at the end. Because week 17 is sometimes the unofficial last preseason game. But Dak has a huge ceiling this year. Huge, gigantic. I mean, just ginormous. But we're also going back to the value of guys, once again, great offenses and bad defenses. Okay, you have neglected to say Joe Burrow's name at every turn in this discussion about tiered quarterbacks. And I know you're a Burrow fan.
Love him.
So are you not mentioning Burrow because you plan on picking him in the first round?
No,
or?
But what I keyed on and what
I know you don't like to talk about guys that you want.
What everybody else is keyed on
Sneaky fucker.
is the mobility of the quarterbacks, how important it is.
Oh, well.
And that's why those quarterbacks
Joe can get around.
and a few others have a distinct advantage for scoring because they run and they present that threat. Now, Jalen Hurts, would he be the second or third quarterback taken off the board if they had taken the tush bush off the table this year? Probably not.
No, he would have slid around.
Okay, so more than that even. He probably wouldn't have been inside the top 6 or 7.
Oof.
So
yeah, that's true.
Think about the importance of the
tush push.
of the mobility factor. And again, that's an instant in which it helps him specifically. But Jaden Daniels, you saw his mobility last year. We know what Lamar Jackson can do. The knock on him was the fact that he couldn't throw the ball. Well, that's over with. We know he can throw the ball. He's worked on that part of his game. So he's an above-average passer with still an elite skill set for athletic ability. The guy's a home run. So that's why Joe's just outside the number. Now, Joe, I think, is going to lead the league in yards because, again, we talked about their defense.
Okay.
And they have Jamar Chase.
5,000 yards, over or under?
For Burrow?
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Over. They got the extra game to do it, too.
40 touchdowns, over or under?
Over. Because, again, if Chase Brown can catch you 5 or 6 touchdowns, which he probably will, Chase is getting Jamar Chase. We got to be careful. Jamar Chase, Chase Brown. Jamar Chase is a 12-plus touchdown guy. You got to figure the tight end position is going to be combined for a 10-touchdown season.
And then
do
the
math.
forgotten man.
Higgins, when he comes back, he'll be able to.
He is back.
Oh, he's healthy.
He's back.
So you got Higgins. They got
paid.
They got a lot of weapons, and they got one.
That trio is going to be around for the next 3 seasons.
And remember, who's the other kid they got? Io Cevis. Remember him last year? He was a part of the mix.
Shavas.
Shavas.
The secret weapon.
Yeah, he had 6 or 7 touchdowns. I mean, it's like
Shavas, which I'm sure in Serbian means touchdown.
Well, listen, let's regress. Year 2, I looked at Joe's numbers and I said this guy's going to lead me to some fantasy championships because as a rookie, he had 3 wide receivers with north of 100 targets in one season as a rookie. And I looked at that metric and I thought to myself, and this is a guy that was getting sacked 60 times that year. Okay, it was on his back constantly running for his life, but still managed to get 3 different guys 100 or more opportunities. And
he's got a slightly improved offensive line.
To me, that told me straight away that this guy is legit, and he has been that since day one. So, love Joe Burrow. I would not mind having Joe Burrow. I'm not locking him into the position he's being taken. If Joe's available in the 4th or 5th round, then certainly I'm going to look at Joe Burrow.
He won't be.
So that's how I feel. But
you have 2 drafts with me. I guarantee you, he won't be.
Here's another quarterback that I like later in drafts. That you can get later in drafts.
Tua Tagovailoa.
And I'm on an island here, and I know I'm on an island here.
Tua.
I like Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, sunshine!
I love Trevor Lawrence this year.
On my shoulder makes me happy.
This is it for him. All the pieces are in place now. They've got weapons now. New system, new coordinator, new coach. Because you've heard all this, but I just think that again, based on where you're getting him, I just think there's still upside, and that's what you're looking for. Because if you're missing on some of the early quarterbacks and you take Dak Prescott and I'm sitting there at the back end of the draft still without a quarterback and I'm looking at Tua and I'm looking at Jared Goff and I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence, I think I'm pulling the trigger on my boy Sunshine.
Good.
You know?
Saves me the trouble of wondering what I would have to do, because if you do that, first of all, my choice between the two of them, between Tua and Trevor, is Tua. I mean, yes, you call it a homer all you want.
Of course it is.
But, and once again, the caveat remains.
You taking Aaron Rodgers or Tua?
Everybody stays healthy, then you're going to end up with a top 10 placing as far as the tiers of quarterbacks. Tua will get within the top 10, maybe even with earshot of the top 5. Okay, if all things remain, everyone remains healthy.
Yeah.
I'll bet you right now, if they both remain healthy, I'll take Tua over Trevor all day long.
If Atlas 3215 Comet doesn't hit us, then maybe Tua's got a shot. But they're ranking him currently at 23rd overall, Tua. So you're putting him in the top 5.
Good.
Yeah, I don't see
Good.
it. I don't see
Sleep.
it. All right, so
Sleep.
this is my favorite part of the show.
Sleep.
Is let's talk about quarterbacks that you would rather have that are about in the same spot.
Tua.
Obviously, you're a Tua fan. So that's easy.
Not true. Because Burrow is just like, whoa.
Okay,
It's
how about
gonna be
this?
ridiculous.
Bryce Young or Tua?
Tua.
Tua
Stop.
all day. Okay, these are quarterbacks that are ahead of Tua now.
So is this going to be...
I'm going to go in
instead of
order. I'm going to go in order.
Okay.
Jared Goff,
Tua.
ranked ahead of Tua. Trevor Lawrence,
Tua.
ranked ahead of Tua. C.J. Stroud.
Ooh.
Okay, because we're getting further away from Tua now.
Tua.
Okay, that's great. 18th, Jordan Love.
Oh, see, that's not right, because I have a high grade on Jordan Love this year.
Okay.
Tua. Now that's a homer
So
pick.
far,
That's a homer pick.
That's 7 quarterbacks.
That's only one homer pick as far as I'm concerned.
I got 2 good ones here that
Jeez.
could be on the fence. Justin Herbert.
Oh, Tua.
J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, I hate you. These are all sneaky dark horses.
You lost your league 6 times so far. But go ahead.
Oh, blow me.
Go ahead.
Tua.
Caleb Williams, my darling.
Tua,
this
stop
year.
it, Tua.
Okay, friendly
Tua.
bet.
Listen. Y'all seem to forget something.
We need to
okay?
make a wager on this.
Okay, and there will be. And we'll have it here on film.
Right now, we're going to do it.
Okay, we're going to.
Go ahead.
But y'all seem to forget. The man has weapons. He has 2 of the fastest wide receivers in the NFL. He has a system that is predicated on the not even any step drop. It's line up in the shotgun, take the snap, get ready to throw, and then hit the slant, or hit the out, or hit the fade. Okay, and they go all day with that. And I have told you and repeated it over and over and over again, even behind a bad offensive line, they execute this offense and they score points.
Here's our bet.
So if fantasy production means anything,
here's our
I'm not
bet.
talking about wins and losses or quality of wins, but fantasy production means anything, the man is productive.
Here's our bet. Are you ready?
Yeah, what?
Now, tell me if you like these terms. I think I'm going to take Caleb Williams.
Oh my God, really? Good. Okay.
You're going to take Tua.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to go $5 a touchdown.
Okay.
And 10 cents. No.
A yard?
No, 1 cent per yard.
1 cent per yard.
Yeah, because if my quarterback throws for 1,000 more yards, that's $10.
Oh.
If you want to do 10 cents, we can do $100. That's a lot, though. Let's do 5 cents a yard. So let's make it simple. $5 a touchdown, 5 cents a yard. Let's do 5s.
Differentials.
Yes, and whoever has more will pay the other person at the end of the year. So we got $5. So if my guy throws for 7 more touchdowns, that's $35. And if my guy throws for 500 more yards, that's $25. Okay, that's $50. You're on.
All right.
Caleb Williams this year will finish much higher fantasy-wise total production than your boy Tua. Tag it.
And that's if they both stay healthy.
No, I didn't care about that. We can't predict that. I'm just
Equivalent
gonna tell you.
number of games.
Doesn't matter. End of the year, total production. We make it
but I don't listen. You're asking me to take a player who has concussion problems. You have to take a player who could miss 6 to 10 games.
Okay, but you just said he's finishing better than the 9 quarterbacks that I listed.
Right.
So take a stand. Is he going to finish better than those 9 quarterbacks, one of which I didn't even mention, which was Caleb Williams? That's my guy. I'm taking Caleb Williams. You're taking Mr. Band-Aid. And you can determine if you want to take the bet or not. I said 5 cents a yard.
Literally
5 cents a touchdown.
You're literally gambling on him getting hurt.
No, I'm not. I want him to play every game. I want him to. I want both guys to play the same amount of games.
Okay, then why not agree to the caveat?
Because because we can't predict that.
I don't like the risk.
Okay, fair enough. Then I guess we know where you stand. Then I guess we know where you stand.
That's too big. I can't ignore what happened
if
back
he
there.
goes down in week 5,
I can't ignore history.
Listen, if Tua has 10 touchdowns by week 5 and gets hurt for the rest of the year, and week 6 Caleb throws 2, I'm just going to text you the number 10. And then week 7 he throws for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and then I end up owing you like $1,000 at the end of the season. Yeah, bite my ass.
Caleb, you get
what do I look at? Listen, I may look dumb, but I ain't dumb.
Listen, you're over here bragging how good Tua is, and I got down to 13.
I will tell you that
you got to miss top 5.
All things being equal, he will outscore every one of those fucking guys. Every one of them.
All right, well,
why? Because he has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, for Christ's sakes. He has Devon Achane.
Well, that's a safe statement to make.
What is wrong with you?
Considering if all things are equal, which we know are not going to be the case because it's football and things happen. So I'm telling you, based on the current conditions.
How about the quarterback position? Team QB.
That's a gross thing, too, also. Okay,
you wanted a sucker bet, and I wasn't going to fall for your sucker bet.
I don't even want kickers. So.
And now you have to carry 2 kickers.
Yeah.
Now you have to carry a dedicated backup kicker position. Is that it? Is that all the tier stuff you had to talk about?
I think so.
Oh, okay. You sure you don't want to argue about anything else?
I'm going to go have a conversation with my buddy from ChatGPT on the way home. I got some things I need to settle.
Careful, you'll find out whether ChatGPT has got a revenge complex or not. He'll start giving you misinformation. Hey, ChatGPT, do me a favor. Can you map me out a route to it? And it sends you off a cliff.
Probably. This guy may have it out for me. So I'm definitely going to be careful as to what I ask him moving forward. Yeah, crazy story. Go back and if you're watching now, go back and listen to that rant I gave about the ChatGPT. Blows my mind.
I'm the one who heard the first draft.
Oh gosh,
it was hilarious.
Shocking.
All right, well, then let's go ahead and call it a show. We'll see you guys next week. We'll come up with more strategies for you. Next Sunday is next Sunday is going to be August 10th. We'll be talking about the very first slate of preseason games, where we get a good long look at starters coming out and handing the ball off for 3 plays, and first series, and then all the backup battles. Wow, it's preseason. So
we're here. We're on.
Are you already fighting with ChatGPT? I'm seeing he's looking down. He's looking down like that.
I'm preparing something for the ride home.
All right. Well, say goodbye to the nice people.
See you later, folks.
All right, guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow or next week, 11 a.m. sharp, here on the Gonzo Radio Network. Love you. Bye.